With support from people like you and Remington and the Shoot for the Cure event, we're able to serve all the children of Arkansas. This is the Allison family who was served here at Arkansas Children's.
I'm Ryan Allison.
I'm Cole Allison.
We both have prolonged QT syndrome. It's a cardiovascular disease.
So hi, my name is Leslie Allison, and when my husband and I met, he told me that he had long QT, which is an electrical heart issue between your heart and your brain. And so he had a pacemaker, so we knew when we got pregnant that the boys were gonna have to be tested. So Ryan was tested at about 3 months old. When he was 15 months old, they decided it was time to put an ICD in just for protection because of family history. So it was about 2018 when his happened. And so they decided to take it out, replace it, and it's like a cell phone, you have to get a whole new device. And at his 10-day post-op, they noticed some redness on his incision. And so we watched it, and then they decided that he needed to be admitted over a weekend. Due to the location of where his device was, a needle biopsy or anything like that was not an option. So they took him back to the cath lab and removed the device and put him on high-power fluid antibiotics. So his never grew out, which was good, but it was bad because we had to treat it with high powerful stuff because they didn't know what it was. So we did that, he recovered. He came back in January of 2019, and they decided to move it up to his shoulder. 10-day post-op, we were great. The week of Valentine's Day, we were not so great, and it started oozing pus out of it. And we contacted the cardiologist, sent him a picture, and they told us to immediately come to Children's. They got that device out. Fortunately, because the lead had only been in there for 6 weeks, they pulled the lead out, and there was no infection to his heart, so we were good. We met with infectious disease. We had a whole team of people, and it was determined at that time that he would recover, and we would wait until spring, and they would come back in. They would put it back in his pocket in his stomach, and we would be in the cardiac OR instead of the cath lab. We did that. He was great. No issues after that. Cole had been monitored since he was literally 24 hours old because of the family history. He was probably about 10 or 12 days old. They officially diagnosed him, and we kind of did the wait and see on him until he was about 3 months old, and they determined that he did need to go ahead and get the pacemaker put in for precautions, family history. So fast forward to April of 23, and they decided it was time to move his. So we came up here, we cleared pre-op with flying colors. There was no sign of anything. We came in the next day, we went into surgery. We were told we would get updates, and the only update that we got was that surgery had started and the IVs were in and he was asleep, and we never got another update until the surgeon walked through the door. I knew something wasn't right, just kind of had that feeling, and he told us that Cole had coded twice in the OR. And they didn't know why. And they found out that his lead wire had got wrapped around his heart. And they went to connect the ICD and put him in, he was in cardiac strangulation. So we had every cardiologist in Children's outside or inside the OR, cath lab. We had them everywhere. The surgery was very risky, but we didn't have an option. And so the surgeon went in, successfully removed every wire and lead that had been sewn in at 5 months old, and he was now 10. So a lot of scar tissue, a lot of all of that. Surgery was successful, but he was very critical. His chest was left open. He was on ECMO, and that was pretty much all we were told. And then they got us back there to see him. We were in an ICU room in CV that I think they told us was 15 steps from the OR if something went wrong. We were also told that his room could be turned into an OR if we needed it. And unfortunately, we needed it later that night. A stitch had popped, and so the surgeon had to go back in and give a stitch. On May the 1st, we went back to the OR, removed him off of ECMO. They closed his chest. We then moved out of the big room, down the hall. He then slowly just kept making his way down the hall, which is a good thing in the CVOR, in the CVICU, is to move down the hallway, because that means you're getting better and you're getting closer to being able to go home. And 7 days after the event, he was deemed no longer in critical care. And 2 weeks to the day, we walked out of the hospital. How close we were, but we made it through. He made it through. He fought. We were just there. He fought. So it was the nurses, the surgeons, everybody that was upstairs with us took care of him, took care of Ryan, took care of my husband and I, my mom, my extended family. Everybody was taken care of. I mean, it was a scary event. We were in the right place with the right cardiovascular surgeon. If he'd have been anywhere else, it would not have been a good outcome. It was very stressful, but it was a life-saving surgery, and so it was a miracle in disguise. Children's is 30 minutes or less from our house. They're in our backyard, is what we like to say. If they weren't here, we would have to travel. The cardiologist that we see is an electrophysiology cardiologist. EP is short for it. And there's very few of them, let alone a pediatric one. For them to have the resources to be able to have the surgeons, the nurses, the support staff, everything they have to be able to do that. We know the surgery second surgery they did on Cole, not every surgeon could have done. We know that. I couldn't imagine having to go somewhere else and travel and not have our support from our friends and family to be there with us. So Children's is very near and dear to our heart. They treated my husband and then they treat both of our boys.